So I wanted to talk about these Justice Democrats. All right, if you ain't heard about it, it's the brainchild Cenk Uygur from the Young Turks and Kulinski from Secular Thought. Now, if you ain't familiar with those two, well, I'm sure just about everybody knows the Buffalo Man himself, Cenk Uygur. At least from this little incident here.
No, Cenk, relax.
Hold on. We're against Saudi Arabia, you dumbass! We talk about that all the time! We talk about that all the time! You don't know shit! What, you think the lizard people are in charge? No. Is that what you think?
Hey, you're pissed. We're kicking your ass.
Is that what you think?
You're the anti-liberal and you're pissed.
Bullshit!
We're being nice here.
You know what I care about? I care about the American people.
Good. You're the one flipping out. Anybody hurt? I'm being nice. I'm not right.
Everybody get the fuck off my stage! Get the fuck off my stage!
Cenk is kind of the butt of the joke in just about everything. So what is it? It's they're basically, this is the Bernie people forming their own political party here, or at least trying to. They're try and reform the Democratic Party, and you know what? Good for them. You know, it fucking needs it, but I don't think they're putting it in the right direction. You know, the main goal is taking down what they call the corporate Democrats. And you know, they got a point there. Them corporate Democrats, I ain't a big fan of them neither. You know, this is the people who put their own interests, you know, how much money they can get in their pocket, over the interests of the people they're supposed to be representing. Now, honestly, that's just about every Democrat to me. It's just about everyone is like that. I mean, going back in history, that's kind of seems to be the one of the platforms of the Democratic Party in the U.S. But I gotta tell you, I ain't a big fan of trading in these corporate Democrats for some damn socialist Democrats, or even worse, fucking cultural Marxist type Democrats. Yeah. Somebody is bringing in the social justice. I mean, really, let's start off with that. Why the hell did they call themselves Justice Democrats? Who in the hell came up with that name? That is the stupidest thing you could possibly do. That'd be like if somebody would call themselves We the National Socialist Party. This would be like if the alt-right would come out and rebrand themselves as the fascist conservatives or something like that. It doesn't quite roll off the tongue, but you get my point here. You know, it'd be like a group of people calling themselves the Hitler Youth, and you know, making some kind of news program about that. It'd be stupid to name yourself after a group of people who committed a genocide on another group of people. I mean, who the fuck would do that? That's so stupid. What the fuck's on my foot? And then look at this symbol. I don't know if this is the official symbol or what. And I don't want to get into too conspiratorial to this, but look at that. I mean, I'm not saying it looks like a crescent moon with a star in it, but kind of has that look to it. So I'm gonna go through some of their goals, their talking points here. I'm gonna give it some main talking points, but first I'm gonna go and say what it is about it that I don't like. You know what my main problem with this is, though? It's not that they're trying to do this or anything. It's the kind of people they're gonna try and get to come into this, they're more classical liberal than any kind of progressive, because that's what this is. This is progressive Democrat strategy. This is like friggin' FDR kind of Democrat party. It's just progressivism. I ain't a big fan of that. I actually oppose that entirely. You know, I believe in the free market. I believe in the Republic of the United States. And you know, my main problem with this is not so much that they doing it, because frankly, if they do this, all it's gonna do is ensure more Republican victories. Because at best, it's gonna freaking split the party. At best, it'll split the party, cause a little chaos. You might get some kind of Bernie type candidate. I don't think Bernie's gonna be running in 2020. He's a freaking dinosaur already. I don't think he's gonna be able to scam people out of money like he did the last time. That's one thing too. All right, they're trying to say, oh, we got the Bernie people. Like that's a good thing. Like that's about. The dude's a fucking sellout, you know? Maybe the people in his campaign weren't, but the dude himself, he was a sellout. He sold out to Clinton.
We have got to defeat Donald Trump. And we have got to elect Hillary Clinton and Tim Kaine.
If he really believed in all the shit that he said, he would have never supported Clinton. You could say all the shit about, oh, well, opposition to Trump and whatever, they didn't want Trump. Trump agreed more with Bernie than freaking Hillary did. Except on pandering to the social justice crowd. You know, let's not forget this.
Thank you, Seattle, for being one of the most progressive cities in the United States of America.
We want an opportunity to address. We want an opportunity on the mic.
Well, ask him.
Get him in check or we're shutting this event down. Now. If you do not listen to her, your event will be shut down right now. Right now. Your decision. Make a decision now.
We will give you, how long do you want? Let us speak.
I need you to move. I'm not going to speak.
Okay, go ahead.
That's fine.
Let me ask them to let you speak.
Or this.
When you're white, you don't know what it's like to be living in a ghetto. You don't know what it's like to be poor. You don't know what it's like to be hassled when you walk down the street or you get dragged out of a car. And I believe that as a nation in the year 2016, we must be firm in making it clear. We will end institutional racism.
But no, this is the Justice Party, you know? There ain't no such thing as a poor white person. Can't believe that. The motherfucker's never been to a goddamn trailer park in his life, apparently. Almost all fucking white people in there. They ain't never been to the point, that's for sure. Go into a house and they ain't even got a damn floor in the house. There's a fucking hole. But they ain't no poor white people. Oh, my privilege. Oh. Eat a fucking dick. Then he's gonna come back and say, this one's playing on racial politics or whatever. Dude, what the fuck are you talking? Where were you when you were doing it?
When you're white, you don't know what it's like to be living in a ghetto. You don't know what it's like to be poor.
And you're gonna try and tell me this isn't social justice Democrats. Yeah, okay. Alright, yeah. You can pluck all the feathers off of a duck and try and tell me it ain't a duck. It's still a goddamn duck. You can put a horn on a horse's head and call it a unicorn, but it still ain't that. Man, bro, you could shave your cat and try and call it your nephew, but that don't make it true. So, I'm gonna go through some of these points here, some of their platform, and talk about it. You know, I don't expect for a minute to agree with people who are calling themselves Democrat to start with. You know, I give it a shot. I'm all for giving people a shot, no matter what they're trying to sell. But don't expect me to buy it. So their first point on their website is about ending corruption in Washington, where they want to get rid of super PACs and PACs and all the money in the politics. You know, I gotta agree with that. Get some of that money out of there. I think people should be able to donate as much money as they want, though. I mean, look, it's their money. They do whatever they want with it. I'm not gonna try and tell people how to spend their money. You know, I don't think it should take millions of dollars to run for an office. It's just fucking stupid. I think if you really had a good message or some kind of platform or something, some kind of notoriety to start with, all you really need is social media accounts and to actually go around and tour, and you can probably drum up enough support to win. I mean, that's pretty much what Trump did. I mean, he had his own money that he could play with too. And you know, frankly, I don't like Bernie because he's a sellout and because I don't agree with his platform. But he did the same thing too, and he stole that money from all them people. And he sold them out to Clinton. But hey, look, I say we get rid of money in politics. Look, Trump's already setting it up for you. Trump's already setting it up for you with that lobby ban, where he's put the 5-year ban on White House officials getting into lobbying, and the lifetime ban of them lobbying for foreign governments. I mean, I think there's some common ground here for sure, but you know, nobody wants to talk about that. They'd rather talk about a supposed Muslim ban that's not really a Muslim ban at all, but whatever. So the next point's about re-regulating Wall Street and hold white-collar criminals accountable. You know what? If someone breaks the law, you gotta put him in jail or fine him or something. Look, I've been saying that about them Black Lives Matter types for a while now. Why do you think they keep doing it? Because they ain't getting nothing done to them for doing it. Either get rid of the laws or enforce the laws. There's no reason to have the laws if you ain't gonna enforce them. Then they want to end billionaire and corporate tax dodge and fix the system to benefit middle class and poor people. You know, this is one, just like the last one too, and probably the first one as well. This is the thing that Democrats, just in general, do. Whether they corporate or whether they for the people, for the justice, whatever. They'll word things in a way where it sounds alright, but then they'll do it, and all it did was end up helping the corporations to start with. Now, yeah, you could say, oh, well, this is the corporate Democrats that are doing this. We're the justice Democrats. Well, that's well and good, but you ain't gonna convince the corporate Democrats to go against what they doing, you know? And look, there have been Republicans who ran on shit like this too, to reform and all that, but they never do it. They buy into the little elite club of politicians, you know. They basically think they're royal, and once they in there, they in there. They figure they in there for life, and most of them are, because they got the money and they got the power to keep reelecting themselves, get themselves reelected. I mean, you know, take a look at Obama. He ran on hope and change, and did he really bring it? He really didn't. He bought into that whole political club there, and then they go on with this. With this point there, it really sounds like they just want to tax people more. Again, that just sounds like something Democrats always do. I don't see why you need a name change here. You know, oh, the government needs more money. We need more money. Well, wait. What are you spending that money on? What? When I drive down the road and I'm going, my fucking tires are about to fall off. I got me a damn truck and my tires are about to fall off. When you need the damn 4-wheel drive to go down the highway, where's that money going? When they got the pipes full of lead, the water's contaminated, where's that money going? See, this is why people don't want to give money to the government. You give them money and it disappears. It disappears into somebody's pocket. Don't matter how good your intentions are. Oh, we're going to do this. Oh, we're going to do that. Somebody ends up pocketing that money. I'm not saying it's even the politician. It might be somebody halfway down the line somewhere. But shit never gets done. That's why I'd rather just not give them that much money. They ain't going to do it anyway. Honestly, at this point where they're complaining about implemented a Buffett rule so that no millionaire CEO pays less in taxes than his secretary. Does that mean they're arguing for a flat tax? I never thought I'd hear a Democrat argue for a friggin' flat tax. What the hell is this? Alright then, we're doing flat tax, yeah? Oh, this is the one I like the most. Defend freedom of speech and expression. Then right under it, oppose bigotry. Fuck me. Social justice Democrats. this is what the Democrats look like. This is what social justice Democrats look like. Oh, man. It's too good. It's too good. Oh, we're gonna defend unpopular opinions without fear of censorship. We must speak out against racism, sexism, and xenophobia. Non-discriminatory protections that currently apply to race, religion, and gender should also apply to the LGBT community and atheist community. Making sure all Americans is equal is not asking for special privileges. It's asking for the rule of law, justice, and equality for all as outlined in the United States Constitution. Oh, it's too good. It's too fucking good. So I got a question for a social democrat out there. I mean, whatever the hell. For a justice democrat out there. All right, if you're trying to bake a cake. All right, hold on. If you're trying to get a gay cake baked at a Christian bakery, do you force them to bake the cake? Do you force them to bake the cake? I don't know. If you go to a Muslim bakery, do you force them to bake the gay cake? What if you go to a Muslim bakery and you want bacon in your cake? Bruh, what do you do? What happens? I want to know. I want to know what happens. If you go to a Muslim bakery and you want bacon in your cake, what do? Has anybody ever tried that before? Has anybody ever brought up that? I'm sure people have brought up that point before, but I've never thought about that. What if you go? Do they have Muslim delis? They can't have Muslim delis. They couldn't have ham. But they have Jewish delis. Do they have ham at Jewish delis? Man, I never thought about that before. I'm disappointed in myself for never thinking about that. Make the minimum wage a living wage and tie it to inflation. Abolish the minimum wage. Listen, if you want to try and set up the minimum wage to be, I don't know, like, what was Bernie Sanders? What is it, $15 an hour, $20 an hour? Dude, I was just watching on the news. They got this robot and it makes coffee. It can make like 120 cups in an hour or something like that. Let me look that up. Can serve up to 120 cups of coffee in an hour. Dude, I wouldn't push for much more of a minimum wage, honestly. Because you know what's gonna happen. All right, as soon as a worker as soon as you can make one of these robots cost affordable. So let's just say that the average person who's getting minimum wage gets like, let's just say, because I'm not looking it up, let's just say that the person making minimum wage gets $10,000 a year. So as soon as that robot costs less than that, it would be stupid to have people doing that job instead of a robot, because you're just losing money. Unless a market opens up for people who want actual humans doing making the coffee, the burger, taking the order, whatever. There could be a market that could develop for that, a certain distrust in the robots. I could easily see that happening. But all you're doing by trying to get more money for jobs that were never meant to be a livable wage. It was never meant for you to make a living flipping hamburgers at McDonald's. It was never. Maybe you open your own business, yeah, okay. But no, you want to add more regulations to the businesses. You want these small, because this is coming up in the next point. You want to ensure paid time. It's way down here. But you want to ensure paid vacation time, sick time, maternity leave, childcare. You know what? That's fine for like your Walmart, your McDonald's, your big companies, your big corporations. But you're going to put this kind of shit on the books. And guess who's going to have to do that too? The little chut mom and pop snowball stand down the street. You're going to have to end up doing that too. But, they're just trying to make their own little business. It might be a family thing to get their kids to work too with them. And now you got to do all this fucking paperwork. You gotta give them time off that they don't want to take because it's a family business. They have their own stake in the business. And you know what? That's not your intentions. I get it. The laws could be written where people don't have to do that. But every other time, if it's something that's originally aimed at, the big McDonald's, the Burger King, the Walmart, anytime it's aimed at that, it trickles down and it affects the small business owner. Because I've noticed that with the Democrats over the years. They don't care about the small business owner. They don't want you to make another corporation. And you know that's the thing. They're going to say, oh, well, it's just for the corporations. Well, guess what's the first fucking thing you do if you start a business and you got any 2 cents to rub together? You form a fucking limited corporation or something so that if you get sued, they don't come and take your damn house. So you're technically a corporation even if you got like 2 employees. And I know that's not what they're going for. It never is. Not the people like Kyle or even Cenk. That's not what they're going for. But when they get the politicians in the office, it affects everybody. And they want to ensure universal health care as a right. I'm not getting as animated in this one. Healthcare isn't a right. It's not a basic human right. They want to ensure universal education as a right. It's not a right either. I don't think you know what a right is. It's not a right. Now, granted, in a representative democracy like we live in, the populace needs to be educated. That's 100% true. But not every motherfucker needs a goddamn college degree. You don't need a college degree to be a plumber, an electrician, etc., etc. And that's people you need. It's going to be a long ass time before you get a robot electrician or a plumber or anything like that. You know, people who actually build the country. We don't need, the market can't support all these art major and humanity major, gender studies, women's studies. There's only so many positions and so many universities that need that crap. And they don't really need it in the first place. Like, honestly, you know how much, a carpenter makes? A fucking contractor, dude. You know how much they make? And they didn't even have to step into a college class. They didn't have to put down a couple $100,000 to get some kind of useless piece of paper. College ain't for everybody. And I think it would be a better platform to stop this lie that's going around that you need a college degree to be a productive member of society. If anything, I think that's what's going to hinder this generation the most. Because you got this generation of people who have this enormous debt already attached to them before they even enter the job force. And there ain't no goddamn jobs for them to go into because they ain't qualified to do anything because they got a degree that's fucking useless. That's the real fucking talk, dude. End unnecessary wars and nation building. You know what? I kind of agree with that. I have a bit of a protectionist mindset myself here. I don't think we should scale back our military though. I think we could probably do some things that make it more efficient. You know, we don't need a $10,000 toilet seat or nothing. Although when they put $10,000 toilet seats on the budget, it's not a toilet seat that they buy. It's probably some kind of fucking UFO craft or something. I don't know. Or that's going in somebody's pocket. You know what I'm talking about. You've seen that, like the itemized reports where they pay $10,000 for a toilet seat or couple $100 for a wrench, just a normal crescent wrench. But yeah, I don't think we need to be we don't need to be doing the kind of shit like what we did in Libya. We don't need to be doing the kind of shit that Obama and Hillary were trying to do in Syria. We don't need to do the kind of stuff we were doing in Iraq, just going in and bringing democracy, you know. Bringing democracy, code word for opening up oil resources for Saudi Arabia, you know. And, you know, even with Israel, same thing. We have a weird relationship with Israel, if you ask me. I think we could scale that back a little bit. You know, keep our diplomatic relations, but let them be their own country. I mean, I don't want nobody coming and telling us what to do in our country. I don't think we should be going to other people and telling them what to do in their country, unless we're doing it just because they doing it, you know, just to be a dick. You know, that's the same reason why I don't like the UN or any of that kind of global type of stuff. Global type of organization or stuff like that where they're making laws that are going to apply, that are going to supersede the Constitution. Fuck that. That's fucking unconstitutional. In the failed war on drugs. Absolutely. Fucking legalize it all, dude. I agree 100% with the libertarians on that. Legalize it all, man. I don't know, everything. You know, if you want to kill yourself with drugs, fucking do it, dude. End yourself right now. I'm all down for that. Dude, especially marijuana, man. I don't like to make that as the number one issue of a political campaign or anything like that. That shit's just stupid. Just go with it, man. It's not any worse than tobacco or alcohol, really. Really. If anything, it's kind of a combination of alcohol and tobacco or marijuana. It's kind of like booze you can smoke almost. But yeah, legalize it all. It doesn't matter. If anything, that's part of the problem of all that border activity, you know? We gave the fucking cartel so much power in Mexico, they run the damn country. It's the same thing. It's the same thing that happened with prohibition in America. You know, you got rid of alcohol and the mob fucking ran the country for that whole time. And for time after that. Hell, they still might. Create the New Deal. You know what? That's one of those ones on the face of it. Again, I think we should rebuild our infrastructure and everything because it's crumbling. It really is. I would also say people always bring up roads, bridges, and everything like that. Yeah. But our power grid, oh my God, dude, our power grid is so freaking susceptible to EMPs and solar flares. Dude, if solar activity started up, like if we were in a really strong solar cycle and we were getting a bunch of fucking solar flares, dude, our country would be, not just our country, but the whole world would be just in turmoil from power outages and power loss. It's crazy how susceptible our shit is to EMPs and solar flares and stuff like that. Like, we've been lucky that the last, about 20 years when we got really into heavy electronic stuff, like the internet and everything, that we've had relatively weak solar activity. But if it kicked up, like it was predicted to do, but it didn't. But if it kicked up, dude, that wouldn't be good. Or all it takes is just one nuclear device detonated in the atmosphere and you black out a city. People can't survive without the internet. You think they can survive without power? Create renewable energy resources. Honestly, I don't think that's something that the government should be doing. I think you should just let the private sector work on that itself. When wind or solar or whatever becomes more efficient than fossil fuels, it'll naturally take over. Frankly, the only thing that could possibly eclipse coal or natural gas in energy production would be nuclear. And people don't like nuclear because they're scared of it. Because, this one almost had a meltdown that one time in Russia where they had, like, you're really basing all your fears off of Russian technology. Dude, if you knew what they were doing in the Soviet Union, science-wise, the kind of stuff they're doing. It was rough in the Soviet Union. It's not surprising that shit happened. Nuclear is honestly probably the way to go. If you don't want to use fossil fuels and you still want the same amount of energy, nuclear is probably the way to go. So let me tell you, them fucking wind turbines aren't that much better because they kill birds. That's what they say. They kill the birds and they make a lot of noise. They obstruct the view of everything. But yeah, I don't think that's the government's job. I think you just let the private industry work on that, and if they're effective enough, it'll go through. I mean, ideally speaking, somebody would, figure out how to do nuclear fusion, some coal fusion. But that might not even be possible. So, I mean, block the TPP and all outsourcing deals that will further damage the middle class. Bruh, Trump's gonna do that for you. You don't need your Justice Democrats. Trump's got your back on that one right there. But I get the feeling that a lot of people in this who go along with this, they don't like Trump at all, really. Even though Trump would probably go along with a lot of this stuff. Trump's pretty left-leaning, He drug the whole Republican Party way to the center. Way to the center. Inconstitutional overreaches. Hey, dude, let me tell you, that's true. And they're gonna go ahead they're gonna go 1 point down and talk about enacting common sense gun regulation. All right. Unconstitutional overreaches, but enact gun reg. Congress shall pass no law to interfere. And then the guy. Shit. Oh, this is why I really wanted to do this, man. It's just too good. It's too good. Like, I do feel sorry for them because they're really trying to do something. You know, maybe I'm just being a little too empathetic here. Because they're really trying to do something, but it's so contradictory. It's too good. It's too fucking good. Oh my god. So they want. I agree though. The NSA is unconstitutional. It completely. All of that data collecting, we just look at that metadata, but from the metadata we can figure out exactly who you are and what you do and everything and where you're going and who you know and what you like to jerk off to. You know, that's not an invasion of privacy or nothing like that. Ban arming human rights violator. Yeah, you know, we should honestly, I was thinking about this the other day, all right? The U.S., anytime we give weapons to people who aren't us, probably all the way back before we were even a country, all right? Went back to the Indians. All right, we gave weapons to the Indians. Boom, French and Indian War. Like, since the beginning, we should stop arming people. Yeah, I know they had some Indians that fought with the Americans against the French and the Indians, but still, I mean, we really shouldn't arm any rebels or anything, whether it's the Middle East, South America, Southeast Asia, Middle East again, you know. Arming people has never ended up good for us. Ended up pretty good for the people making the arms, you know, but in that common sense gun regulations. If anything, repeal stuff. Get rid of the ATF. Why? Honestly, why the fuck they got the ATF? Couldn't they just be part of the FBI? Like, why do they need their own separate thing? Just make them a damn subgroup of the FBI. They always bring up all their shit. But if you look at the numbers of the gun homicides, what percentage is committing the homicides? It's a fucking majority of gang violence. Why the hell would you punish the law-abiding citizens who know how to use their guns properly? Because gang members are committing these acts. And the thing about the gangs, how many of those are committed with illegal firearms to start with? So you're talking about a ban on guns, but the people who have the guns have them illegally already, who are committing these crimes. I don't get that personally, but you know, I think we should end constitutional overreaches. I agree right there. Ensure paid vacation, sick time. Yeah, we went over that already. All that's going to do is hurt the small businesses. It's going to end up happening. It won't be the intention. I get that. I ain't going to stop it from trickling down to hurting the small businesses. Now, or your McDonald's, your Walmart and all, do they get away with some shit? Do they do some shady shit? Yeah, I'm sure they do. But I just don't trust. I don't trust any Republican, Democrat, whatever. I don't trust them to make any kind of regulations. I don't trust them doing this kind of regulation. I just don't trust them. I don't believe in constitutional overreach. Abolish the death penalty. You know, that's one I honestly kind of waver back and forth on that one, because I kind of agree with the whole thing. I'd rather the guilty people go free than the innocent person be put in prison. You gotta think about that. How much that would fucking suck if you didn't do anything and you end up in prison. Dude, that would suck. Like, you really didn't do anything at all and you end up in prison. That's pretty fucked up. Then imagine they kill you too. I don't know about that one. But then I kind of do like the death penalty too, especially if the person actually did it. Like, without reasonable doubt that the person did it. You know, like there's witness. You know, there's a lot of witnesses. There's video evidence or something. Yeah, I'd leave it on the table personally. You know, I know some people, you know, they get into morality or they bring in their religion or whatever, but I don't know. You know, eye for the eye, make the whole world blind, but defend and protect women's rights. Wait, defend and protect women's rights. Wait, enact policy. What about everybody else's rights? What? What the hell? Why are you singling out women there? Let's read a little bit more into it. We support the Paycheck Fairness Act. What does that do to the Equal Pay Act of 1963 doesn't do? It's already a thing. What else you gonna add to that? It just sounds like you added more useless fucking shit to the already. It sounds like you just added more useless fucking shit to the law. But my wage gap. We oppose Republican cuts to Planned Parenthood and women's health clinics across the country. Alright, but that's not really a right, is it? Because healthcare isn't a right, so don't see how that's really right. Honestly, with the whole abortion, Planned Parenthood bullshit, just get rid of that shit and just put it in the fucking hospital. And you don't have all these fucking problems. Who the fuck's gonna go protest outside a damn hospital? You know, people are gonna get pissed off at that because they're getting in the way of people who actually have medical problems. You know, I'm not a big fan of abortion, you know. I don't think it should be illegal, though. I really don't like these people who come on and celebrities saying, oh, I wish I had an abortion. They're trying to, like, glorify it or something. That's fucking sick, dude. It's literally reminiscent of what the, like, witches used to do. You know, I'm not saying we're gonna start burning people, but, you know, it's not something that should be fucking glorified. You know, there should be a fucking stigma attached to it, but it shouldn't be illegal. I also don't think you should be jailed for having an abortion. That's kind of fucked up. If anything, the person performing, if there were laws against it, it would be the person performing the procedure who should probably be put in jail. But that's besides the point. Enact police reform. You know, I agree that the police departments need some reform. But let's take New Orleans for an example, because it's a big city that I'm familiar with. It's close. All right, they can't find enough people to be cops already, and you want to make it harder to be cops. That doesn't sound like a winning strategy. Look, I don't have a solution to that problem. You know, I got a lot of solutions. I got the answers, dude. But no, seriously, I don't know what we would do in that situation, but I don't think increasing the requirements when you already have a shortage. Look, they're already at the point in New Orleans where they basically should start doing like Police Academy, like, you know, the movie, doing that kind of stuff to get people to actually patrol the streets. The response times are like half an hour to 90 minutes. That's fucking ridiculous. They just ain't got the manpower, you know. And I know Mississippi too. Mississippi's got a huge deficit in police officers. They don't pay them jack shit. All of the police officers from Mississippi, they're going to Texas because Texas fucking pays them, dude. Maybe they need more funding. I don't know. But no, in New Orleans, they'd rather waste money tearing down fucking statues than, you know, beefing up the police force. Look, it was so bad. There was a point where they were looking into getting a militia. Cindy Torres, the trash man, was looking to start a militia. Honestly, too, I know these social justice Democrats here would be against it, but I think Trump talking about going into Chicago with some federal forces to clean that up, I don't think that's a bad idea, dude. Chicago is Detroit as well. It needs something. Look, the state, the city, whatever, obviously can't provide it because it's been like this for as long as I can remember. been like this for 10, 20 years at least. The city didn't do nothing. The state didn't do nothing. It's just getting worse. I don't know. They need to do something. So that's my thoughts on the social. See, I wasn't even trying to make fun of them that time, and I still just can't help but saying social justice Democrat. They should pick a different name. It's too late now, but they should have picked a different name. Well, that's been my thoughts on the Justice Democrats. Leave in the comments what you think. I don't think it's gonna work out for them. I think it's gonna be. I think it already is, frankly, co-opted by these social justice people, and not gonna be good for anybody. So just embrasse mon cul. Oh yeah. Fucking pecans, you.